Hello everyone. So today we are going to talk about 13.1 organisms and its environment. So we look into ecology. What is an ecology? It is a subject which studies the interactions among organisms and between the organism and its physical environment. So the interaction between an organism, between organisms and the interaction between an organism and an environment is referred to as ecology. So ecology is basically concerned with four levels of biological organization: organisms, population, communities, and biomes. So we look into this. First is organisms, then comes population, then comes communities, and then in final it is the biomes. So what is a biome? It is a collection of plants and animals that have common characteristics for the environment they exist in. That is referred to as a biome. For example, desert. Desert is considered, and rainforest and tundra is considered biomes. So like in this case, desert, grassland, tropical forest, temperate forest, coniferous forest, all of these are considered as biomes. Habitat. Habitat means a natural home. It is referred to as a home actually. Just remember it as a home or environment of an animal, plant, or other organisms. For example, there's a plant and there's a tree that gives shade to other organisms sitting in beside the roots. This is a home for some organisms. Our intestine, our stomach is a habitat for hundreds of microorganisms. So habitat means home. Natural selection. You will not understand this until I tell you about in the picture format. So here you can see there's a bird here, okay? And this bird feeds on rats. So there are black rats and there are white rats. And this actually is a rocky area which is actually black in color. So the birds will naturally the rats, white rats will only be visible to the birds. So the birds will eat up only the white rats. Over the time, the black rats will start accumulating, and because the natural selection that has happened, black rats are more in number than the white rats. So let's read it through now. Okay, so some mice are eaten by birds. So a population mice has moved into a new area where the rocks are very dark. Due to the natural genetic variation, some mice are black while some are tan. So some mice are black and some are tan. These are tan mice. Tan mice are more visible to predatory birds than the black mice. Thus, tan mice are eaten at higher frequency than the black mice. Only the surviving mice reach reproductive age and leave offspring. So now, because black mice had a higher chance of leaving offspring than tan mice, that because black mice had a higher chance of living than the white mice or the tan mice, the next generation contains a higher fraction of black mice than the previous generation. So because of the natural selection, black mice outnumbered white or tan mice. That is natural selection. So natural selection is a mechanism for evolution. Natural selection is a process through which populations of living organisms adapt and change. Individuals in a population are naturally variable, meaning that they are all different in some ways. This variation means that some individuals have traits better suited to the environment than others. So in this case, some black mice had traits better suited than to the environment than the tan mice. Now, what is physiological ecology? So physiological ecology is the ecology at the organism's level is referred to as a physiological ecology. So ecology at the organism level is essentially physiological ecology, which tries to understand how different organisms are adapted to their environments in terms of not only survival and reproduction. This is also slightly inclining towards natural selection. So the rotation of a planet around the sun and the tilt of its axis cause annual variation in intensity and duration of temperature, resulting in distinct seasons. So rotation of a planet around the sun, a planet like Earth is rotating around the sun. Because of its rotation, we get different seasons. For example, if you can see in this case, this is our Earth, and this part is referred as northern hemisphere, and the south part is referred as southern hemisphere. So as you can see, the northern hemisphere, as you can see, less hours of sunlight is there on the northern hemisphere. And so northern hemisphere will have winter. So winter for northern hemisphere. And in this case, in the southern hemisphere, there is more exposure of sunlight. So that means it will be summer for southern hemisphere. Likewise, in this case also, this is northern hemisphere and this is southern hemisphere. here more hours of sunlight is there. So summer for northern hemisphere. And here less hours of sunlight is there. So it is winter for southern hemisphere. Because of the rotation of the earth, it takes place, the seasons. These variations together with annual variation in precipitation. Precipitation meaning it includes rain and snow. Okay, so account for the formation of major biomes such as desert, rainforest, and tundra. So because of this rotation, because of this variation in temperature and seasons that are occurring, there we actually have some biomes such as desert, rainforest, and tundra. Now let's look into this chart. As you can see, this is the mean annual precipitation, means snow and rain. And this is the temperature. For desert, the temperature is very high. Okay, but the precipitation or rainfall is low. So rainfall is less in desert. Whereas in grassland, the temperature is quite high. For tropical forest, sorry, it's a tropical forest, the temperature is quite high, but the rainfall is very high in this case. Temperate forest, the temperature is quite high, but the rainfall is not so much. So like that in Arctic region also the temperature is very low. It's in this case, it's very low, but the rainfall and precipitation is also it's not that much. But the temperature is low. So you need to understand this in terms of annual precipitation and temperature. Now this particular chart is very important and it can come for your exam. So you need to understand the biome distribution with respect to annual temperature and precipitation. Now, life means, what is life here? Life means plants, animals, and microorganisms. Okay, so life exists not only in just climate. There are like but in like life exists in extreme climates as well. It's not that it does not exist in extreme climates. Like camels, they exist in deserts. In hot climates, also camels exist. Then we have Arctic fox and polar bear and penguin. They exist in cold climate. So life exists not just in a few favorable habitats, but even in extreme and harsh habitats. What is extreme and harsh habitats? Higher temperature, highest temperature, and lowest temperature. So the highest temperature means camels exist in desert. The lowest temperature means penguins exist in cold climate. Okay, so that is what it means. So scorching Rajasthan desert, rain-soaked Meghalaya forest, deep ocean trenches, torrential streams, permafrost, snow-laden polar regions, high mountain tops, thermal springs, and stinking composite pits. Even our intestine, as I mentioned before, even our intestine is a unique habitat for hundreds of species of microorganisms. We assume that over a period of time, the organisms had, through natural selection, evolved adaptations to optimize its survival and reproduction in its habitat. So over the time, due to in natural selection, the living organisms have tried to optimize their survival rate, okay, in its habitat. Now, what are abiotic factors and biotic components? Abiotic factors include water, light, radiations, temperature, humidity, atmosphere, acidity, and soil. So these are non-living components in the ecosystem. So abiotic factors are non-living chemical and physical parts in the environment that affect the living organisms. So water, light, temperature, humidity are all abiotic factors. Biotic factors are living organisms. These are living organisms in an ecosystem. For example, plants and animals or microbes. Now, what is niche? In your book, there is a complicated definition of niche, but I want you to understand what is a niche. Informally, a niche is considered to be a job or the role that a species performs within the nature. Job of a lion in the forest, job of a deer in the forest, that is referred as niche. A niche refers to the way in which an organism fits into an ecological community or ecosystem. Now we look into the definition in your book. So there are three things you need to understand. You need to write it in your textbook, write it in your books, in your exam. Tolerate, utilizes, and distinct functional role. Okay. So each organism has an invariable defined range of conditions that it can tolerate. So the range of conditions that an organism can tolerate and the diversity in the resources it utilizes and a distinct functional role. This is important. A distinct functional role in the ecological system. All these together comprise its niche. So you need to understand tolerate, utilizes, and a distinct functional role. So in short, it just means it is considered as a job or role that a species perform within the nature. I hope you understood the concepts very well. If you like my video, please like and share and subscribe. And if you have any doubts, you can just mention them in the comments down below. Thank you for watching.